I'm Carrie and Knauer, and welcome to Carrie's Kitchen. And today I have a special guest with me, Vince Campanella. Vince and I have known each other for
a while.
A long time, and mostly for the news side of things that I do. But at the end of every conversation, we tend to start talking about cooking, right?
We always end up talking about cooking.
So I thought it'd be really fun to have Vince come and teach me how to make a dish that I've heard other people brag about that you've made before, and that's your eggplant parmesan.
The dish is a little bit different than you might see in a restaurant. It is a little bit more faithful for traditional Italians who are used to the deep dish casserole. And it's layered with meat, cheese, eggplant, and as you can see, it's a little bit different presentation than what you might find out in a restaurant. You know, I make my own sauce, make my own meatballs, I fry the eggplant, and everything's from scratch in the traditional way.
Are you ready to cook?
I'm ready to cook.
All right, we're going to start by cutting the eggplant. Something I've never done. My family's never had a real eggplant in the house before, so here we go.
Yeah, it's very versatile, you know, from the squash family.
Now you were saying that some people like the skins and some people don't.
It's a toss-up. I don't think it's necessary, but you know, even on television, when you've got dual chefs, you know, talking about how they do it, some take the skin off, peel it, some don't. So it's really up to you.
I've got our egg wash already here. About 2 eggs for this pretty big eggplant. A little bit of milk in there to thin it out.
Now this part of it's always good if you've got dual people. Because you know, that way you can have somebody, you know, working the fry pan,
yeah,
and somebody working the bread, because it doesn't take long. You're really not frying it up too much. Now you want to have a place to take it out and drain it, let it cool. All right, first of all, I'm going to just spray my pan. The pan, there you go.
Great.
We're going to add a little sauce to start with.
Now this is your homemade sauce?
Yep. With imported Sicilian oregano. I'm probably one of the few guys who gets Italian oregano and saffron for Christmas. So what we're going to do is we're going to layer the eggplant. Create one layer on the bottom. I like to get, you know, uniform pieces. This is what we fried up. You can see how it's fits nicely the way we cut it. You know, works well, you know, in the bottom here.
And it's okay to overlap it a little.
You want to overlap it a little bit. I'm trying to get, you know, maybe pieces that are not quite so big. And remember I said fry up these little guys?
Yeah.
There you go. You found a home. So now what I'm going to do is cover it with a little bit of sauce. I don't add any salt and pepper to this, but I'm using Pecorino Romano. That's been my family's favorite for a lot of years. So with my, get this out of the way.
It's melting already.
Yep. And we'll leave this right here, because you'll be able to do it next time. I'm going to let you put some mozzarella down. Give me a layer of mozzarella. We have plenty, so be generous. You know, just give it a good even coating. All right, now we're going to go with a little bit more eggplant. Another layer. And on top of this layer, we're going to have you make a debut with crushing meatballs on top of this.
Right.
phenomenal experience. But it really adds another layer of flavor to this dish. If you weren't a vegetarian, leave it out. But this will add a nice layer of flavor. But traditionally, if I'm making meatballs as a separate dish, I will try to get a mix of veal, pork, and beef ground. A third, a third, a third. I make an egg batter with all my seasonings, and then I fold the meat in, then I shape it. If I'm serving it as an hors d'oeuvre, I press it, insert a little chunk of mozzarella in the middle. If it's for spaghetti and meatballs, or big ziti meatballs, I just leave that piece of mozzarella out.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, this layer I'm going to top with a little provolone. And when we bake this, you can tell this is going to be very full. I put it on a baking sheet, so if it spills over, it doesn't spill over into your oven. And a little bit more sauce. All right, so I'm going to finish it off now with one final layer of eggplant. Because as you can see, that's all we can do.
Now, we kept the sauce warm before we assembled this. Does that help it bake quicker?
It helps. It helps. But a lot of times, you can do this the day before.
That's right.
If you're going to do it right away, the warmer the sauce, that helps a little bit. But if you wanted to put this in the refrigerator the day before, because if you're frying the eggplant, there's a lot of work to be done. We're going to top this with more sauce. Now I'm going to let you try my microplane and give it a nice coating of snow right on top. That's good.
Great.
The next step is I cover this with aluminum foil. We bake it for 30 minutes at 375.
Okay.
And then we're going to revisit it, and we're going to take the aluminum foil off. We're going to top it with some mozzarella cheese and let it bake for another 15.
Sounds good. Okay, so we've covered it up with foil. Now I'm just going to give it some prick marks, let steam out.
Absolutely. I think that's fine.
Great.
When I get to this point where it's bubbling, I see the steam coming out. All right, so I just used this. I'm going to slice it. It's rested for a while.
Right.
Do with this first piece is I try to make sure that it's not sticking, but it's always tough. Ooh, first piece.
Wow. That looks pretty perfect.
That looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that.
Great. Well,
I'm pretty happy with that.
you want to taste it with me?
Okay, fine.
All right. I'm going to burn our mouth.
I see the steam coming up. That's always a good sign. It's right there.
That's really good.
It's right there.
That's perfect. Well, great. Thank you so much. I'm really glad that you taught me how to make homemade eggplant parmesan.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.